Welcome to Success in Motion. Join us as we dive deep with top leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals, uncovering strategies to grow, scale, and succeed.
Welcome to the Success in Motion podcast. This is your host, Alex Burho. And today we have an incredible guy with us. We have Nelson. And in fact, he loves what he does so much, he's here even on his birthday. So, Nelson, tell us, how old are you today?
I am born in 1937, December 11th. That would put me at 87 today.
87. So we get a lot of wisdom that's going to be coming our way in this episode. So, Nelson, go ahead and give us a quick snapshot of your business and what you have going on right now.
Okay, I kind of concentrate on three things. I've been a champion of small business for many, many, many years and helped businesses to attain wealth and success. We've all heard the dismal statistics. Small businesses go out of business, three of them, and within 3 years, 50% of businesses fail. So they got to do everything right to get a foothold. And yet there's 330 million small businesses, so it's totally the backbone of our country. And they're my heroes. They take chances. They live and breathe their business. They fall or triumph through their business, and sometimes it costs them a lot, personal losses and relationships and everything else. So I made it my business since I'm retired. I'm half retired, and to help them. And I've been helping them with loans that they can get when the bank says no for their expansion of their business to scale up. I'm helping them to tap into government programs that will give them subsidies, cash flows, tax benefits, tax credits, and so forth. But recently I've kind of changed to the other side of it, because there's a lot of business owners as well as individuals that aren't even keeping up with inflation with their retirement programs. And they get out to retirement. Now, I'm even older than baby boomers, but there are a very large percentage of baby boomers that are not able to live in dignity because they didn't plan. And they went into these qualified plans that have minuscule income. Inflation eats it up, and they don't have the money they need to live in dignity in those last years. And I found two opportunities that really, really cater to that. I was just so lucky, I guess, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And one of them is your program, land programs, that has been so carefully designed and so strategically implemented that I'm comfortable with the risk management to where it's one of the safest investments you can have. And yet the returns are 3, 4, and 5 times what they would have get the return ROI, return on investment, in these other programs. And so that's pretty much what I'm doing now.
And for the listeners who aren't quite sure what that other program is, that's Digital Nomad Capital.
Digital Nomad Capital, yeah. And land acquisition specifically.
Yep.
And I've dived very deep into that. And the partners, Remington and Michael Bishop, they've been good enough to disclose everything. I've seen their books. I'm very impressed. In fact, I'm not a rich man, but I put $100,000 into this investment because what I needed at this point in my life, I don't need net worth. I don't need generational wealth. All my kids are richer than I am. What I need is income. I don't care if I write a bad check on the day I die, but I need income between now and then. And I'm very healthy, so I might make it another 10 years.
Absolutely. It's a lot of people listening, and the huge keyword these days are creating that passive income and creating that income that can even replace active income. And
Yeah.
it sounds like you're really focused on that, especially because, your kids are set up. You want to be having as much as you can for yourself.
Well, I've seen most passive income, and the reason they're named passive is because they pass them right by and they don't get any income because inflation. Excuse me on this one. Let me get the message. Okay. Call you later. Because they don't get the income they do, because inflation gobbles it up. Overhead costs gobble it up. And what you guys have done is amazing. And so I put a few people into this program, and my girlfriend went into it, and it it really is a changer. I'll give you a quick numbers. 100 grand buys me $1,208 a month. Well, $1,208 a month, that's about $14,500 per year. And how else would I earn that much income with that little amount of money? Well, I can tell you what that's worth. As soon as I closed the deal, I had a value of, if you take 5% return on investment, of about $280,000. Now, it costs me to buy that income 100 grand. It's worth 280,000. I call that a good deal.
Sounds like a great deal to me, too.
Yeah.
Something, and again, we appreciate all that you're doing and the way that you're really helping not only yourself, but those around you create this kind of passive income for themselves. And so, another thing I always like to ask is, what does success mean to you? What does success look like for you after all of these years that you've been gaining your wisdom?
Well, by definition, I looked up the definition the other day at Google, and Google says that success is the attainment of wealth, favor, or eminence. Or eminence. All right. I believe you can have success without wealth, power, and celebrity. I really do. It's not about what you have, but rather what you do with what you have. And the verb and the noun for success are really very different. They're different. For instance, Russia comes in and destroys a country called Ukraine. They call that success. Well, okay, it fits the definition of success because they've successfully destroyed a country, successfully killed thousands and thousands of innocent people. They're all innocent. The ones that are fighting them, as well as the collateral damage from bystanders and civilians and women and children. But that's success. So there's so many kinds of success. And what are you succeeding at? To me, I think success, the kind of success I want, is doing the right thing at the right time for the right reason and coming out with a positive a conclusion. Bringing happiness to your fellow man, bringing happiness to the people you deal with, bringing happiness to any interactions you have and relationships that you're involved in. That's all success to me. So it does vary. Talk to a mercenary, success is how many people I can kill. A far cry from the success that I envision, but that's what it is to me. And in getting to happiness, I do not think that happiness is getting what you want. I think it's wanting what you've got.
Mhm.
We know a lot of people that have supposedly and ostensibly and visually everything in life. They got beautiful kids, they got a lot of money, they drive big cars, whole damn thing, and they're unhappy.
I like that. Success isn't just about attaining a goal, even though by definition it is, but attaining a goal that's worth it, that's worthwhile, that grows the human race as a whole. And like you
Yeah.
said, it's happiness is more about where you put your focus. I like
Yeah, like
so
climbing the ladder of success. Make sure it's leaning against the right building.
right. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So talk to us a little bit more about how you're helping the small businesses. I know you mentioned creating some of that passive income as well as other things. But again, there's a lot of small businesses, like you mentioned, that are rather struggling. What do you do that you think sets you apart in your ability to really help these small business?
Well, I lead with one thing that's pretty irresistible, and it costs the owner of the business nothing, and it happens to be part of the Affordable Care Act, and that part of that act is called the um, uh, Self-Insured Medical Expense Reimbursement Program. All right, that's a long name, so the acronym is CMRP. CMRP is a little strange to say. You go around saying CMRP, nobody's going to talk to you anyway. And the operative word is reimburse. So through that, at no cost to them, the company is reimbursed to the tune of $630 for every W-2 employee. That's all. They just have to have W-2 employees. All right. And so my minimum is 10 W-2 employees. I can help a business. And that would be around $7,000 of tax credits. And you know very well, but some people don't, that there's a difference between a deduction and a credit. Credit is actual cash in their pocket because it's coming right out of taxes. And in this case, payroll taxes. That also generates a residual benefit of 30 to 40% savings on their workers' comp insurance because it's based on a percentage of payroll. And we reduce the payroll, but the employees don't get less money because we're changing, not to get too technical, but we're changing after-tax dollars to before-tax dollars. And an employee benefit program that's totally paid for by the government. All of this at no net cost to the owner of the business. So that's what I lead with. And then once I have a client, because that's hard to say no to, then we do the whole thing. They don't have to lift a finger, need a couple of pieces of information, and within a month they've got the program. And year after year they'll receive these benefits. I love that. So people ask, well, how do I make any money? On the back end, there's a few bucks for me.
Okay.
But it doesn't come from the client.
Okay. That's a great way. I mean, you're helping them for years and years, and who doesn't want an extra tax credit for them?
Yeah. Then I have their trust, and then I can introduce things like land portfolio through Digital Nomad.
Yeah, absolutely. So if any of the people listening right now are wanting to, help their small business, obviously, besides reaching out to you, what tips or tricks would you give to them?
Well, the two most important things in a small business is great employees and bottom line profits. You're toast without them, either one. All right. So bottom line profits, there you look carefully at your overhead and your expenses. You want to increase your revenue, but you can have billions of dollars of revenue and take home nothing if your expenses exceed that revenue. As far as great employees, you got to treat them well, genuinely care about them, weed out the ones that are not skilled enough to continue to thrive with you, and liberate them to do something else where they can be appreciated. And those are kind of the core things that are important to run a small business. I've failed at enough small businesses, so I know how not to fail anymore.
And that's good information to pass along a little bit. Okay, so as we're going ahead and wrapping up our interview, what exciting plans or initiatives do you have in the works for the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months?
Stay vertical, number one. I'm 87 years old, right? And improve my pickleball game. I'm the oldest pickleball player in the community I play with. There are 500 I say inmates, but the residents of this active senior community I live in. And there's 14 courts, and I'm the oldest male playing pickleball. So I want to do that. I got a new girlfriend. The good news is she lives across the street. The bad news is she lives across the street from me. And that's going well. get closer to my grown kids. I got one daughter older than me. She's about 66, but she hasn't aged the same way. Pretty much that's about it. And just so appreciative and savor every day. I'm in my bonus years.
Love it. Some amazing things going on. Well, Nelson, thank you so much for your time today and sharing a lot of those insights and what you're doing to really help these small businesses. If anyone out there would like to connect with you and maybe ask more questions, what's
Sure.
the best way to get a hold of you?
I'm kind of old fashioned. I like initial contact by phone, 808-283-1599. That's my cell phone, 808-283-1599. You can call for any reason. If you've got questions that have nothing to do with business, that's okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate having you on the show. And yeah, we'll talk with you later.
All right, Alex. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning into Success in Motion. Want to share your story? Visit successinmotionpodcast.com/guest to apply and be featured on the show.